Welcome back to another video. My name is Chris North. You are watching Smelly King Cologne Reviews, and today I want to do something a little bit differently. One of my subscribers had asked me what I thought would be a good beginner cologne list. I sort of just picked the price of $300, and I'm going to go over, I think there's 11 here, 11 colognes that you can get for under $300 that I think would cover all of your bases. Now on the other hand, I could have done a $300 list and picked 3 or 4 colognes that I think would have covered all of your bases, but I'm trying to do this so that you can get the most bang for your buck, as much liquid as you possibly can, cover your bases and still spend under $300. So some of these are gonna be clones of more expensive fragrances that I think pull off the job pretty well. In fact, the first one that I wanna cover, Armaf's Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is a clone of Aventus Creed, which is one of the best fragrances you can get, except for it costs about $325 a bottle. This 3.6 ounce you can get for about $31. Some of the notes that you are going to smell in this are apple, bergamot, pineapple, lemon, so it's very fruity and citrusy off the top. Birch, jasmine, and rose, so sort of floral in the mids. And then settles down to patchouli, vanilla, and musk. Yeah, and if you've smelled Creed Aventus, this is definitely a very good clone of it. And the longevity on this is impeccable. It lasts all day long. I've sprayed it on clothes and still have been able to smell it 2 days later. I sprayed this actually on the top of my box because that's how I was smelling them initially until I got some sprayer strips. That was about a week ago, and I can still smell it in the box when I open it up. Also, I think the bottle design is pretty cool too. So that's the first one, $31, a Creed Aventus clone that does the job really well. Next, I have one more Armaf fragrance for you, Armaf Hunter Intense. It's a really cool bottle design. Now, this one you can get for about $25 for the 3.4 ounce, which is this one. I've read some reviews on it. A lot of people say it smells like Invictus, the bubblegummy smell in the beginning, and then turns into like a Dior Sauvage at the end. I think it actually opens more of like Versace Dylan Blue, which I reviewed a couple weeks ago, and then sort of settles down into a Dior Sauvage. It lasts all day long, 7, 8, 9 hours. It projects really well. This is definitely something that you could wear just like the Club de Nuit pretty much all year round. Some of the notes that are in this one are bergamot, lemon, mandarin orange, cardamom, lavender, rose, pink pepper, and base notes vetiver, cedar, musk, and patchouli. For $25, I think what it tries to accomplish and what it's trying to be, it does a very good job and pulls it off. I might even say that it smells a little bit more appealing than Versace Dylan Blue. Sometimes that can be a little harsh, and this, when it ends in sort of that Dior Sauvage feel, it sort of goes its own way, but this is very nice for $25. And next on the list we have one from the house of Calvin Klein, CK1 Shock. And this is definitely probably one of the best cheapy winter fragrances that you can get. It is one that I have worn a few times this winter. It lasts all day. It smells amazing. And this came out in 2011. Some of the notes that you're going to smell in this one are cucumber, lavender, and clementine in the top. Your mid notes are going to be black basil, black pepper, and cardamom. And then in your base notes, you have cashmerean, patchouli, tobacco, and white musk. Now, in the opening of this, you definitely get the lavender. It's a little floral in the beginning, and then it definitely settles down to something very dark with the patchouli, the musk, and the tobacco. And the tobacco note is prevalent pretty much throughout. It's one of my favorite things about it. It's a sweet beginning into a dark tobacco ending. For $20 for 3.4 ounces of this, I think this is definitely one of the best, if not the best, winter cheapie you can buy. So I'm adding it on my list for $20. This will be an everyday winter, fall fragrance for you to wear. Still with winter, we have Burberry London, which many, and including me, consider the Christmas cologne. It actually smells exactly what you would expect when I say it smells like Christmas in a bottle. And I also really like this little, I guess it's sort of like a cloth, like it's wearing a vest or a sweater, but it's pretty cool. And this fragrance came out in 2006. It is classified as a spicy woody. That's exactly what it smells like. And your notes in this are bergamot, lavender, black pepper, and cinnamon leaf on the top. The cinnamon is definitely really strong. leather, mimosa, and port wine in the mids. And then your base, you have oak bark, gaiac wood, and tobacco. The tobacco is very strong as well. So cinnamon, tobacco. As I said, the cinnamon is definitely really strong. The tobacco and leather are also in here. And then it sort of smells something cedarish, even though there's nothing in there. That might actually be the oak. But all of those mixed together make it smell like you're standing next to a Christmas tree wearing a brand new leather jacket, drinking some apple cider, cinnamon apple cider warm, and someone near you or you are smoking some pipe tobacco. All of those things together is pretty much what this smells like. And you can get this for about $27 for a 1.7 ounce. And that's another winter fragrance. Again, you can kind of go back and forth between CK Shock and this one. And I think I might have one more winter fragrance for you as well on the list. So you have some variety to switch back and forth in. And the last winter fragrance that I have for you is F Black by Salvatore Ferragamo. This is the 1.7 ounce, which you can get for about $20. It came out in 2009, and some of the notes in this one are apple and lavender in the opening. Your heart notes are lavender absolute, black pepper, and coriander seed. In your base notes, it dries down to labdanum and tonka bean. And black pepper is definitely there. It's very sweet in the beginning. The apple and lavender mix very well together. Yeah, this is more of like what I would wear to the office pretty much all winter long. If this, between those three, CK1 Shock at London and this one, this would be the one that I would wear as an everyday office. It smells very sweet, very woody. The tonka bean is very prevalent in this and smells really good. And then it's also very peppery as well. But I think this would be best worn to like an office setting, especially if you're wearing suit and tie to work every day, or you dress up a little bit for work, sort of like wearing something like this. This would be perfect for that. And again, for 1.7 ounce, you can get it for about 20 bucks. We'll add that to the list as well. Sticking with office and dress up attire, if you want one for when you are dressing up or you're putting on a suit and tie or you're going out more professional, I would recommend Dolce & Gabbana's The One Gray. This came out in 2018, and the notes that you are going to smell in this are cardamom and grapefruit in the opening. Your heart notes are lavender and vetiver, and in the base you have tobacco, gray woods, and ambergris. And when you smell it, it just smells like something you would expect someone to wear when they're wearing a shirt and tie. It smells classy. It smells like it's meant to be worn dress up. And this is the small 1 ounce bottle that you can get for $26. As you can tell, I'm almost out of it. I need to order another one, but I'll add this one to the list as well, 26 bucks. Now we'll move on to summer. The first summer fragrance that I would recommend for you is Versace Blue Jeans. This came out in 1994, and for $20, you can get a 2.5 ounce bottle. And you can find this at discounters, and actually this is found quite frequently at places like Marshall's and TJ Maxx is probably where I got this bottle from. So if you see these in TJ Maxx and they're $20 or under, I think that's a good price for these. Now there's a lot of notes in this one. Your top notes are basil, bergamot, rosewood, juniper, and citrus fruits. And your heart notes, you have carnation, geranium, heliotrope, jasmine, lavender, lily of the valley, rose, and sage, and fir. Very floral in the mids, a lot of flowers. In your base notes, you have amber, iris, musk, patchouli, sandalwood, tonka bean, vanilla, vetiver, and cedar. And this would be something that I would recommend pretty much any day of the summer, spring as well, spring and summer. If just something that you can easily just throw on and wear, definitely like an everyday summer cologne. It's very sweet in the opening with the floral and the citrus. And as it dies down, you definitely get some of that tonka bean and vanilla as well. But Versace Dylan Blue, $20 for a 2.5 ounce. Add it to the list. Next on the list, we have Tommy Bahama's Maritime. One of the cooler bottle designs that I have on this list. For $25, you can get a 2.5 ounce bottle of this, and I think this is the 2.5 ounce bottle. I wore this a couple days ago and wrote a note down to explain what it smelled like to me as I was wearing it. So what I said in my note was, it smells like you are standing on the beach on a windy day, wearing a fresh cotton shirt. You have a gin and tonic in your hand, and it dries down to a floral smelling powder. That's probably the best way I can describe it when I was wearing it, so that's what I wrote down. Now the notes in this one are bergamot, lavender, pink pepper, and clary sage in your top. Your mids are water lily, jasmine, violet leaf, geranium, and ambergris. And then your base notes, you have cedarwood, sandalwood, musk, and moss. And this came out in 2016. So this is definitely in between Versace blue jeans and the next one that I want to give you. This is probably a little bit more dress up than Versace blue jeans, but not quite as dress up as the other one. This is something you would wear, or I would wear if I was just going to the beach. I would definitely spray this on. I've got two more summer fragrances for you. These two are definitely going to be a little bit more dress up side. The first one is Lacoste L1212 Blanc. And this came out in 2010. And your notes in this one are top notes of grapefruit, cardamom, rosemary, and cedar leaf. Your mids are tuberose, frankincense, and ylang ylang. And in your base notes, you have Georgie wood. I don't know what that one is. Vetiver, suede, and cedarwood. This is one of the summer colognes that I would recommend if you're looking for something that lasts all day. It is definitely one of the most fresh colognes that you can smell immediately in its opening. The cedar leaf sort of adds a punch to it, almost like what some of these colognes that have mint in them add, like a mentholy punch, if that makes sense. So this is a little more, you could wear it casual, but I think this would work a little bit more dress up than the other two for summer as well. And it's fresh. It's gonna last you all day, no problem. And the price on this one is $32 for a 3.3 ounce bottle. So a little bit more on the expensive side compared to some of the other ones, but I think this is definitely worth it and it'll get the job done for you in the summer. And we are down to the final two. One of my favorite colognes of all time, Banana Republic 78 Vintage Green. This was part of the set that Banana Republic released. They had a couple of them that had different numbers. So 17 Oud Mosaic, 90 Pure White, and there were, I think, two other ones, 83 Leather Reserve, and something else that I have. They were all corresponding to a specific year. This is 1978 Vintage Green. It is a very green fragrance, meaning it has a lot of green notes in it. And it came out in 2017, and the notes that are in it are bergamot, green leaves, mandarin orange, magnolia, jasmine, green tea, fig, cedarwood, musk, and vetiver. A lot of those are all green fragrances. A lot of them are all green in nature. Your magnolia, green tea, green leaves, cedarwood, bergamot, a lot of that is all green in nature, so it's considered a very green fragrance. When you smell it, you get the green tea immediately, which is one of my favorite things. It's very sweet, very well put together. You can get a little bit of cedar in there as well. But it was such a pleasure wearing it throughout the day, and I can smell it multiple times. It's kind of just wafting up, and every time I got a good smell of it, it was just something that made me happy. It's a very good fragrance. You could dress this up. This would probably be the one I would dress up out of all the summer ones on the list. You can also dress it down if you wanted just a summer fragrance to get it all done. You can do this one, but since I'm doing a list of $300 worth of colognes, this will be what I would add as your most dress up one for summer. The price for 78 is $35 for a 2.5 ounce bottle, which is this size. And all the Banana Republic bottles come in some of my favorite packaging. Just kind of slides into place and then closes like this. And last but not least, I have what I would consider a date night, clubbing, late night, partying fragrance, whatever it is that you're wearing it for. I've got two, both by the House of Banana Republic. Both of them will pull off the job for you. It just really depends on which one you would want to smell more. We have dark cherry and amber, and tobacco and tonka bean. All right, we will start with this one, which is actually what I'm wearing today on Valentine's Day. Dark cherry and amber. Now these actually came out as a line as well. There's dark cherry and amber, tobacco, tonka bean. There's a couple other ones that I have as well that I can't for some reason think of them off the top of my head, but this came out as a set, sort of like the 78 did as well. Now this came out in 2019 along with the rest of the set, and some of the notes that you were going to smell in this one are black cherry, makes sense, pink freesia, not entirely sure what that one is, cherry blossom, praline, cedarwood, and red amber. Now you definitely smell the cherry. Yeah, so the cherry blossom, the black cherry, there's lots of cherry in it, praline, and then the woods at the bottom are the cedar wood and the red amber that smell really good in the background behind the cherry. This is definitely something that I would recommend for a date night fragrance. And the other one is Tobacco and Tonka Bean, also came out in 2019 with the same line. And some of the notes that you're gonna smell in this one are Anjou pear, plum, coconut, tobacco leaf, vanilla, and tonka bean. The vanilla is very heavy in this one, especially in the opening. It's also heavy throughout, but vanilla and tonka bean. The tobacco is sort of on the lighter side, so it's not as strong as it would insist, being that it's one of the two ingredients on the label, but it's in there, but it's sort of in the background. The tonka bean, a little bit of coconut you can pick up on as well, but certainly a dark fragrance that you would want to wear at nighttime that's going to give you a good longevity. It's going to project well enough for you, and it's not going to be offensive to whoever it is that you are courting. So we'll go back through those one more time, and I'm just going to say the name, and at the end I'll actually have a list of the names and all the prices. I think I'm right at around $300 for all these, but I'll have a list at the end for you. So we'll start again with Club de Nuit Intense Man. Creed Aventus Cologne, pulls it off very well. Armaf Hunter, smells like Versace Dylan Blue, ends with a Dior Sauvage vibe. Very mass appealing. It'll pull off, last all day, and you can pull it off pretty much anywhere. Burberry London, the smell of Christmas. CK1 Shock, beautiful winter cheapie. Ferragamo F Black, very peppery and floral, great for winter fragrance. Versace Blue Jeans, everyday summer fragrance. Tommy Bahama Maritime, also another everyday summer fragrance. Give yourself a little bit of variety. Lacoste L1212 Blanc, a little more dress up summer fragrance. Banana Republic 78 Vintage Green, one of my favorite all-time colognes. Definitely dress up or dress down summer fragrance and spring fragrance, and you could probably pull this off in the fall as well. Date night fragrances, Tobacco and Tonka Bean by Banana Republic, and Dark Cherry and Amber by Banana Republic. Now again, the point of this list was, for me, to make sure that you have all of the bases covered and that you get the most liquid or bang for your buck. Again, I could have made the list $300 and given you 3 or 4 colognes that would have done the exact same thing. But I think if you're spending $300 and you're just now starting, kind of experimenting and smelling a bunch of different ones versus just having 3 or 4 to choose from, if you can, for the same price, that would be the way that I would go. I know some people are probably gonna say if you have $300 or $400 or $300, you might as well just get 4 bottles of stuff that are really good. I think every single one of these is gonna work for whatever it is that you're using it for. They all smell amazing in their own right. They have their place on my shelf, and I think they deserve a place on your shelf if you are definitely looking to get started and you have $300 and you're saying, okay, what should I buy? And you're gonna watch a couple other videos from other people who are doing sort of the same thing. They'll give their lists. This is my list. You can compile them however you want. They're not wrong. I'm not wrong. We all have our own opinion. This is definitely my list. So I do have one, let's say you have $350 instead of $300, or you want to subtract one of the 2 date night fragrances that I added on there. Again, I'm only putting the price for one of them. You would choose between the 2 Banana Republics, but I think a little more suited for date night, one of my favorite fragrances for $60. Abercrombie and Fitch, First Instinct Extreme. Now, this came out in 2018. This will be the last one. This isn't part of the initial list, but if you have an extra few bucks or you want to subtract something else from the list to get this, this is one of my favorite fragrances that I would wear date night, or just going out, hanging out with friends whenever we get the ability to do that again. Just, you know, going out, watching a movie, bowling, or just hanging out with friends on the town, whatever you want to do. The notes in this are gin tonic, Sichuan pepper, I think I said that right, violet leaf, citrus notes, suede, and amber. This is considered a fruity spicy. And again, it can be replaced by this if you have a little extra money, or replaced by the Tonka Bean, but it's perfect for date night as well. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you want to ask me if I wanted to replace a specific fragrance with another, you can certainly ask me in the comments. This is just out of what I have on my shelf. If somebody were to come to me and say, hey, I got $300, what should I buy? This would be the list that I would give them, not knowing them at all. If I knew sort of what they liked, I would alter it a little bit, but I think this is definitely a good list for $300. I don't think you can go wrong. I probably said that 100 times already, by the way, but it is what it is. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Thanks for the support. Stay safe. Stay fresh.